Hi. Hello. Bit of an early start today, but it's a rainy Sunday, so what else am I gonna do, really? House Flipper. If you're watching this live, House Flipper is free on Steam right now, I believe, for the next 2 days. Don't quote me on that. I picked it up so it doesn't show me how long the sale lasts anymore. I guess I could actually put in some effort into checking. It shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, it turns out just, yeah, April 6th at 10 a.m. Eastern. So, I think that's mostly to promote the remaster that is coming out soon. I have never played this game before, but what I have done is functionally this job in real life. I, for a while, worked in construction. Mostly in, I was not the one buying the house, but I was the one fixing it up and getting paid for that. Welcome to House Flipper. This game will allow you to buy, renovate, decorate, and sell houses. For now, however, you need to be content with this shack that you can call your office and the laptop that is your command center. Okay. Ooh, that sensitivity is a bit high. I'm a professional. Drop that down. Did I just mess up a setting? Now we're good. Gotta get rid of all the trash. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. This is a bit gross. We're gonna spend a little bit cleaning up. Are you kidding me? You can't align this to the grid? Okay. You kinda can. But you kinda can't as well? That's annoying. Anyway. Cleaning not available yet? Never mind. Can I cancel? I can. Oh, disable the grid. Oh, if I disable the grid, I get hands. Bit annoying. Place it on the plate, but I can't place it on the counter. Fine. Oh, no! Apparently that was trash. Shouldn't have done that. Let me, That's safe, right? Chainsaw right next to the bed. Else here the game considers to be trash. Okay, yeah. Good enough for now. Laptop will allow you to find jobs, buy houses, and switch between them. Not afford to buy a house yet, but it looks like you already have your first email. Ex-boyfriend stole the radiator from my house. Hello, I'd like to hire a company to put my house in order. I know from photos posted on FaceSpam that my ex-boyfriend broke into my house, made a huge mess, and stole the radiator. It is possible that some other things are missing too. Please clean up the house and replace the missing appliances. I'd ask you not to inform the police about the whole matter. I will settle it myself with my ex-boyfriend after returning from a business trip. Regards, Sarah Lewis. Don't really have much of an option now, do I? These early jobs are going to be, congrats, you've unlocked a new tool. You can clean dirty stuff using the mop. Okay. These early jobs are going to be less so the stuff that I did. I know that this isn't exactly what they asked me to do, but I'd like to see that slightly more arranged. Okay. Because I was typically, when in construction, I was going to say last line of defense, not quite accurate, but doing the finishing touches, but I, dabbled in other things as well. From now on, you have a tablet at your disposal. Press tab to use or hide it. Allows you to buy things. Handy. Okay. I do in fact need a radiator. I don't know if this needs a large radiator or a normal one. I'm going to... Any way to test it? I guess get lucky. Hope. Okay. Turns out that was the right size. Assemble. Oh, you just let hold left click. You don't actually have to do anything. Understandable. They don't actually make you assemble it, but... Here we go. Clean up the trash. Always important when cleaning to have like a set of instructions. This probably doesn't need to be rotated like that, but radiator seems to be fine. I'm not going to sleep in their bed. That'd probably catch me a couple charges. Where's that even supposed to be? There's no way that's supposed to be in the bathroom. I mean, I guess having a little side table. I don't know exactly, because this doesn't look right. We'll say my interior design skills were never top class, but... a little bit more trash. Line that with the wall. Now, that can be a little bit angled. Listen, they mostly hired me to clean up. Do these two fit next to each other? Not really. In that case, you can go over there for now. Yeah, I guess... let's do this. Don't necessarily want to block the oven. That's not great. That's not great, but they didn't hire me to do great things. They hired me to clean up. Okay, cleaning time. God, if only cleaning was this easy. With stains like this, now you'd be scrubbing here for a while. Friendly reminder that if you're ever scrubbing here for a while, don't use bleach. Really? Can't be placed on the stove? I guess, yeah, fine. You're not actually boiling water right now, so that makes sense. And when I say don't use bleach, I mean use bleach, but know what you're doing if you're using bleach, so generally I recommend not using bleach. You're improving. Turn on the tablet, choose what you want to spend the new skill point on. Perks. One new perk after... oh no, I'll get a new perk after 74 cleaned elements or trash disposed. See some dirt on the minimap, I can clean faster, or I can get a good mop. See some dirt on the minimap. Oh yeah, that's going to be helpful. Doesn't seem to show you all... yeah, okay, this chair needs to move. C to crouch. I think I got myself stuck. I think I'm stuck in this person's home. I need to pick up the chair so that I can get out. Or not the chair, the couch. There we go. Did I just walk through that the whole time? I ain't sharpest tool in the shed. Downside to having that on the minimaps, I'm going to be paying more attention to the minimap than what actually needs to be cleaned. Upside is it lets me see some of the stuff, like I never would have seen that under the toilet. Go. Complete the job. Just got an achievement for completing my first job. That's supposed to be me? No, that's just got to be a client, right? Okay. Any mail? Yes, I do. Radiators. I'll pay you if I'm fully satisfied or you get nothing. Winter's coming. The winter's hard. There are no radiators in my house. Mount them. Let me check what cleaning the garage. Hello, we need to clean the garage. Please throw away all the boxes, trash, and old tires. Please don't forget to clean the window, too. It's better not to touch the tools, though. Husband doesn't like it when someone moves them, and he can't find them afterward. Okay. Oh, I somehow already forgot that just teleports you straight to the next job. $756, though. That's not bad for a day's work. Granted, you know, I don't know how that all works with taxes and whatnot. Clean the garage. Can I just open the garage door? I can. They probably don't touch the tools. Got a bunch of trash to remove. Hopefully that little bounce there didn't count as touching the tools. Move their bikes. That ain't perfect, but once I'm done cleaning, I'll just lead them back up against this wall. Which actually, let me clean up against this wall first. I can. I was gonna ask if I could clean the tire tread. Turns out real easy. That's almost exactly what I should be doing, in fact. New cleaning skill available. We're just gonna go straight all in on dirt. Being able to see all dirt on the minimap is going to be quite nice. Okay. Now, bikes back. Oh, I think actually if I move this one back a little bit, I might be able to put them closer. Yeah. Yeah. That might be a little bit of a hassle for them to get it out of there, but you know, that's not my problem, is it? Oh, it looks like there actually is some trash still. Yeah, some of this is still considered trash. Okay, I was gonna say, hopefully these new tires aren't considered trash, because those looked like some good tires. Oh, that is, though. Don't ask me how I'm going to be cleaning this table without touching any of the tools, but go. And the window. Oh, I can just E to clean the window. It's a very light dust if you can get it off with just a little vacuum. Maybe it's a strong handheld vacuum, but from my experience, that is not the case. Little thing, your personal favorite brand of window cleaner. And a nice thin fiber rag. Last I checked. To be fair, usually if I was cleaning anything... Oh. Appear to be stuck in the window. Oh no, there we go. Window is dirty from the other side. Okay, just wanted to check. It's just me, I don't really see any more dirt. Ah, I had to go around the edges. Okay. Job complete. Get out of here. Close their garage. Doubt the suburbanites want me leaving their house open. I'm gonna... that should work. $475 dues. I also did realize that I said $750 for that last one, but didn't I spend like $400 just on the radiator. So that was probably most of that bill. Using the gallery tab on the tablet, you can choose any image from your hard disk and use it as a poster or picture. I am not going to do that. Please understand that I am not going to do that. I have quite a few images of just like straight up personal information. Yeah, I guess mopping the dirt is honestly fine. Why not, right? Apparently there's something right there. I don't see it. Might want to wait. There's probably a tool here for like a ranged cleaner. Let's clean inside the house a little bit before picking up the next pump. Thing just is gross looking, kind of. Definitely clean off my desk and my chair. It's pretty important to do. And clean the bathroom a little. I wish cleaning bathrooms was this fast and easy. To be fair, that's not clean at all. Work means victory. Huh. Sorry, is that the actual date? I just realized. What time is it? It's only 10:41 in the morning. This guy's kind of weird. Amanda Johnson. Amaranth Walls. Bonjour. I want my house to look a bit more arty. Can you please paint some of the walls in the living room? Amaranth. The remaining walls should look stunning in gray. Oh, I almost forgot. Can you please replace the broken electrical socket? Now this is the stuff that I was like big on. The like surface level electric. This sheetrock, but that's not what they're asking for, and painting. Those are my like big things. Could do a little bit of like structural stuff here and there, but if it gets too dark, you can use your flashlight by pressing F. You received a paint roller. Now on, you'll be able to paint walls with a paint roller. All you have to do is to use the tablet to buy paint. Okay. So, first things first, is this the wall that they want? No, this is the children's room where they want the electrical outlet. Paint with the colors Amaranth, Adventure, and Gray. Okay, so they've got a couch here, but the TV is here. To be fair, I don't actually know what color Amaranth Adventure is. Okay, red, that makes sense. In my head, it was red. Don't know why, because I've never heard of it before, but... Which one, again, I mentioned that my interior design was never the best. I, would offer advice when it was asked for. Pro tip, if you ever paint in someone's walls and they ask you, hey, what color would you like? Give them your advice, start out with a sentence of something along the lines of, well, I'm not going to be the one who has to live with it, so in the end, it's what you want that matters, but, and then give your advice. Something like that. People, a little bit of psychology, they love to hear that they matter, which makes sense. But, okay, let's stop loitering around. Which one of these walls do we want to be red? I mean, the thing is, you're going to be sitting here. I don't think you want the back wall of your... Like where you're cooking to be red, necessarily. To me, that feels a bit much. I think it's going to be this back wall here. I think that's kind of the best option. It does give a little bit of the... blinding there, but... A small should be fine. Are they going to make me... Probably not. They're probably not going to give me a brush and make me cut the walls. Load the roller with paint. They are not. Oh. Can I... Okay. That ain't exactly right. How thick is this nap? Let me finish off these lines. Okay. That was like 2 dips. Oh, I have to go above there, probably inside. This would all be brushwork. I wonder if they... I'm not going to. I'm leaving this windowsill the same color. If they still, like, kind of force me to paint it in the game, then that's just going to go the gray. But red... I'm not even a huge fan of red walls, to be completely honest. Yeah, you're getting 1 dip of the roller. I could see that. Maybe I should have gone medium. I don't know what the small, medium, large represents when it, you know, when it comes to these walls. I would think, you know, the most common... Oh, no, it turns out I'm good. Most commonly used size was a gallon. For big projects, you do a 5-gallon. Is that going into the ceiling? I don't want to paint the ceiling. Oh, a new skill point. New painting skill. Oh, and negotiation. I'm just going to do higher payment. Painting. You won't waste paint on already painted wall. Oh, that's huge. Then I'm going to go for paint more. Ah, yeah, turns out. I'm going to have to buy another small. Store, amaranth. Yeah, would have been better to just go for 1 medium, slightly cheaper, but not having to strive to find the refills. Makes it fine. I am going to be doing the underside of that, so it's fine that I tagged it. Again, normally a lot of this would have been brushwork. This entire top line here, down the sides, around, the entirety of the insides here would have all been brushwork. You ain't doing that. Maybe you could do the outside, like half of this. This is pretty thick. You might do like just that line right there with the brush, because you definitely don't want to end up hitting any of the trim. Though it looks like they might also want this to be hit right here. But, yeah, if I had a brush, I definitely would have got that up a little closer here. This would have been, you know, trim color probably. But actually, I'm going to hit that. It does look that hopefully you can't see that from the outside. And we're going to do the same thing here. Don't stand on a client's couch. Oh, yeah, also we'd be setting up drop cloths, obviously. Probably a little bit of... Definitely something over the radiator and the floor. Probably would have requested that they do this, but if they didn't, I would have... If these were, like, new hardwood floors, probably would have just covered the couch. Would have had to move it a little bit farther away to get back here. But I would have requested they just move it all to the center. It's really nice. Same with this. Move everything at least like 3 feet more, if possible, away, so that you can set a ladder up sideways so you can cut that top line. Yeah. There's your red accent wall. Move that. I can apparently sell a little bit left of paint. You won't be catching me doing that. Got a basement full of paint. Bunch of different colors from use over the years. For this wall, apparently that was a medium. Honestly, I'm gonna try and estimate what those price, or like what the sizes were, but paint. Surfaces? Nope, nope. Want to know where this is? I guess doors. Ah, walls. Yes. Okay. Is there one that just has like? Yeah, I can just do that. We're definitely grabbing a large here. Honestly, this might be like pint, quart, gallon, just looking at it. Even though those cans, these small cans look kind of like gallon cans. Actually, when did this game release? I'm just going by price, even that's a little cheap now. I haven't... Oh yeah, that's more than a gallon. I would need a different roller nap for this, but that would absolutely turn my walls like half gray, half pink. Let me tell you, you do not want that. To some extent, I'm glad they don't force you to do the whole entire thing. But it could be nice. It is actually, you know, it's work, don't get me wrong, but it is somewhat enjoyable. The painting's the fun part. Usually. Used to always hear it described as kind of the reward for all the, you know, patching the holes in the walls, the stuff that you don't like doing quite as much, at least. Also nice, you probably... I mean, for this red, you definitely would do 2 coats. Honestly, this gray is a close enough color that you could maybe get away with 1 coat, but I would still do 2. But also depends on what these walls were before. That looks kind of like a porous texture, so you'd probably want to do 2. You'd end up with a ton of missed spots if you're rolling by hand. Again, unless you know, want to use 2 gallons of paint. Or 1 wall. 2 gallons... you could probably get that done with 1. If you were doing 1 coat. Do painting skill point, we're gonna hit that paint 2 walls at once. Rising. I need to see like what the ratio is. I don't know if this is just 3 smalls. Probably not. It's probably not just 3 smalls. Probably 4. Because this is probably 2 smalls. This might just be 2 mediums. Just going purely on price. It's a nice thing also with colors like this red. It's not going to be like a super common color that you're going to see, you're going to use a lot. If you ever got like your flat whites or your like off whites or anything like that, those can be quite easily used. I don't know what else they want from me. Oh, right here. Gotta be paying attention. That would have ended up real bad if I had done that in real life. Missing underneath this right here. This side maybe would have been fine, but this side right there, that would have been dried. Definitely would have needed to do a second coat on this thing because this would have a huge like overlap mark where everything got 1 coat except right here got 2. And you'd be redoing that. Second coat at least on this wall. Though, to be fair, you could probably get away with... That's a pretty thin area above this, like, kitchen backsplash. But below the windowsill. So you could probably get away with brushing that out. Especially because the roller would barely fit. Might want to take, like, an almost dry roller, brush it out, and then take that almost dry roller just to... real quick. Just to get like that roller texture, because brushes often leave like streaks in it. You usually, if you're good enough at it, you can get 2 coats, but I can even see it in this room. I painted it a couple months ago. And I just did 1 coat to cut the ceiling line, and I can see a couple streaks where if I were getting paid for this, like this room that I'm in right now as a job, not this room, but my actual room, I would have definitely done a second coat on that. At least a second cut. Okay, so I also have to repair the electrical outlet. That's easy enough to do. Let me get this chair out of the way. Yeah, that's old. Take that. Oh yeah, I keep on forgetting it's just hold down left click. For what it's worth, especially if no one's home and you are licensed, you should turn off the breaker. At least to this spot, if it's properly labeled, that'd be great. Definitely contact the owners about that. If you're not, I mean, you don't have to. Especially if you're just replacing the faceplate, but this one was also like a messed up, like this was old. That clearly needed some work. Handyman, plaster, mounting, 6 times, I was big on plaster. I'm gonna go with plaster. One of those things, I mean, to be fair, tiling's not super tough, it's time consuming. I'm crouching, all right, yep. Okay. Bedroom. This one needs an electrical outlet repaired as well. Yeah, this is old and crusty. I do know people who would have just been like, nah, just hit it with a coat of paint. New one in. Yeah, safety-wise, you definitely should be cutting the breaker for this. Not actually cutting. Please do not, if you're ever working in someone's house on the electric, please don't actually cut the wires unless you know what you're doing. But you should definitely be turning off the electricity to this as to not kill yourself with the magical power of electricity. All right. Replace 2 outlets, paint 1 kitchen, $1,200. I forgot to... Whoops. They've still got like half of, like probably 5-gallon bucket just sitting in their kitchen. That's on me. Completely forgot about that. Slipped the mind. If they had made me lay down drop cloths, I would have remembered. Understandable why they wouldn't do that, though. Matt Marl, I'm going to do Jack Grams as late as possible. Baby on the way. Hi. Hi there. My beautiful wife is finally pregnant, no need to brag, and we're now more busy than ever before, but very happy too. I have no idea what to get my hands dirty with. I can't read, by the way. So many things that need doing before our precious princess arrives. We're 100% sure it's a girl. We've gone ahead and bought a cute little house for the 3 of us. Unfortunately, it needs a proper clean in preparation for our baby. Hope I can count on you to get the house in order. I'd also like to ask if you could prepare the kids' room, buying the crib, changing station, possibly some toys. But everything in your hands in this matter. Most definitely have to paint our princess's room a light rose color. Thank you so much, Matt Marlowe, soon to be dad. He's excited. Probably sleep at some point, but 4 hours is enough, right? I think I actually got like 5. Okay. So this one is big and dirty. Okay, cleaning is always the first thing you do. Painting always comes last. As much as painting is the best part, maybe it's partially the best part because it comes last, because it is so nice. You go 1 room at a time. Clean up that stuff on the way in, because why not? But first room. You go 1 room at a time so that you can be done with a room, but 1 thing at a time as well. Depending on how big the house is, on something this big, you could probably... And what I probably would do is... Well, I guess if this one seems to be just cleaning and painting. Clean, paint, buy some objects and stuff. This one's just clean. Remove trash, clean. Remove trash, clean, clean. So that's all easy. And that's all, oops. That's all easy enough. But you definitely would clean first and then get to the cosmetics for each room. It really depends on, you know, how much you've got to do and what you've got to do. If you've got to repair walls, then usually you want to get all the repairs done first. So you can be like, okay, repair day done, time to do like a painting day. Also depends on how many, you know, people you have. You know, I typically worked on just like a 2-man crew. So we usually would be like, all right, time to get this room done. And... Ooh. No. Oh, it's still a little bit under here. Surprised the radiator itself doesn't need cleaning. This would probably be rusty. This would probably be rusty. I guess you probably got to use your oil paints. Oil paints, those things are strong and only sold industrially in some states. But not in the state that I worked in. For plausible deniability, I'll say that that's the case. But yeah, on a house like this... Oh, I just pressed M to take a screenshot. It didn't open up the map. I wanted to like look at the mini-map. Place like this probably would go one room at a time. With cleaning. And then paint this room. Since it's the only room that needs paint, you probably could get away with just completely like set up, do this room. Clean it, paint it, decorate it. But... Probably shouldn't sleep. That's kind of in the way of the door. That looks ugly, but this, again, is kind of... Nah, it's fine. Alright, clean time. I keep on pressing Q to try and clean because it brings up a radial menu, and I've been playing a lot of Warframe recently. Which has the Q radial menu for, like, tools and emotes and whatnot. Oh, it's a big window. Yummy, yummy. I say yummy, yummy, but dust really doesn't taste that good. Does this house say when it was built? Doesn't even have a street. No, I've got to stay here. If you leave, your progress will be automatically saved. Okay, it is 4:30 p.m. Let me finish cleaning off this room and then I'll check what time it is again. I doubt I'm gonna finish this in one day. Just looking at it now. The fact that it's already 5. Okay. Pull that away from the wall a little. Get to this window. Another big reason why you would ask people politely, especially on a new house like this. To be fair, they haven't even really moved in at all. It seems like they bought it as is, a little bit pre-furnished, but definitely not prepared for a child. Oops, pressed every wrong button possible. There we go, and then let's bed back and beyond. Still gotta clean off this. Yeah, this room's clean. 6:30. Let me do at least a little bit of something in the bathroom. That sounded way worse than I meant it to be. I meant like just in the bathroom a little bit. Oh, that would be a hassle to get rid of. That looked a little green. So to be fair, doesn't look like there's any mold, which is good. If it's just surface mold, don't let anyone know I told you this, but surface mold is real easy to get rid of. But if that stuff's like gone in, do I have to move the toilet? I'm gonna... Okay, so that's not something you can do. Good, okay. I ain't necessarily like a sucker for realism or anything like that. But old couple telling me that several carpets on the floor can work wonders. Oh, these are just, I guess, the people I can sell to. What seven has the clock has the sun straight up in the air? We're gonna pretend that it's 7 p.m. Can I just do this? Go to baby on the way. That's the one I was working on. To be fair, I don't know if there's a 24-hour clock or not. Oh, time to finish cleaning. Apparently I missed a spot here. Is definitely something I would have actually probably just missed. The upside to not working solo. Sometimes other people can spot the stuff that you miss. Nice to have a fresh set of eyes. It looks like I probably have to move this couch. That there. Clean the window as well. It's always nice to do things in chunks like this. You'd be surprised how easy it is when you're doing some of the more mind-numbing parts of the work to miss something incredibly obvious. You're just like, oh, okay, let me, you know... Let me, you know, do this. And then go down here. And then you know, instead you're like, oh, let me hit these ones real fast too. And then you go do this entire window and completely forget that you haven't finished this window. You know. I think I'm allowed to say this because, again, I worked in construction for a while. You don't end up working in construction because you're some of the best and the brightest. That was not fully clean. This window and then move the couch back, and then I'll clean the couches. Clean the couch itself. Get this out of the way of the door. Here we go. As long as the, homeowners aren't home, you can stand on top of the counter. Wouldn't recommend it. Keep accidentally right-clicking, which just puts you in like a weird limbo state on the window. I think it's because it tries to right. If you just like tap right-click, it brings out your hands. No, I wouldn't actually recommend standing on counters. You never know how fragile this counter is, especially this one. You'll be, you're probably fine to stand here to get access to the window, but you step right there and you're snapping the corner off of that thing. Let me tell you. Clients typically aren't a huge fan of... Oh, I never cleaned the bathroom one. Aren't a huge fan of you breaking their things. They do not like it. Okay, there we go. It is also nice, this task, obviously this task list, like, has it all written down on its own, but writing down a list of the things that you need to do in each place is incredibly important. Similar to how you could, do this and be like, oh, let me do this, and then, oh, time to clean this window, and then you just completely forget about that top window. In your mind, it's like, okay, you started the top window, and whenever you start a window, you finish a window. And then you think that this is done. You don't have a game UI to tell you that, well, no, it's not. All right. So then you gotta paint this pink. Pastel pink. I'm gonna go for the large. It might be a little bit excessive, but... To be fair, with this game, it's probably fine, but typically if you're actually doing this kind of work, yeah, it's a little bit excessive to buy this much paint. But the last thing you want is to have to leave the job site to go paint. It's fine-ish if you have multiple people on your crew, so it can be like, we're not going to have enough paint. Someone's got to go, grab an extra quart or an extra gallon or however much extra you're going to need. But if it's one or two people, then, that's either stopping work entirely or, at the very least, cutting your workforce in half while someone goes and picks up paint. Not the most efficient thing out there. So you tend to, you get better at estimating the more you do it. How much time it's going to take, how much paint it's going to take. Oh, I could just be done right now. More. 148. Not too bad. If it were actual full walls, then yeah, that'd be quite a bit, but now it should be 144. Yeah, each section counts as a wall. I've mentioned stuff like this earlier, but when it kind of like this pink on white is another one where, you know, you could maybe get away with the 2 coats, or rather get away without doing 2. But usually industry standard, or at least me standard, you run through paint fast in this game. This room is a little smaller than my room, and my room was easily done with 1 cut. I think it was 1 cut and 2 rolls with like under a gallon. Anyway, industry standard, or again, at least me standard. Prime plus 2. You throw a coat of primer on there, and then 2 coats of paint. If it's just like if it's the same color, or a very similar color, you can get away with prime plus 1 or just 2 coats. If it's the exact same color, like actually identical, not just like green over green, that was where you could get away with 1. It's just like, you know, hey, you freshen up the paint on these walls, like a, you know, quick freshen up coat. That was some easy stuff. You can get away with 1. But this thing does not look, I mean, this looks like it's probably not quite a 5-gallon bucket, but it is still way more. Sell the leftover paint this time. I think House Flipper 2 lets you sell walls. Okay, so what do they need? A baby cot, a bookcase call, cabinet with changing table, and a poof. Is that how that's pronounced? Don't know, never had kids. Was a kid once. Okay. So, first things first. Is there a difference between those two? Oh, it's the inside. Oh, it's also sometimes the outside. Okay, well. Let's just go double pink, honestly. Probably shouldn't put the baby right next to the radiator, so... I'm just gonna go in that corner. Actually, there's an outlet right there, so let's move it a little bit away from the wall so you can at least reach back there, plug something in. Yeah, you don't want the baby next to... You probably don't want the baby right next to an outlet, to be completely honest with you, but... Oh, that's pretty big. That's kind of got to go here. Cabinet with a changing table. Can that go here? Yeah. Move it away a little bit, similar to the crib, so you can actually still access those outlets. Then 2 of these. These better be pretty small. Those are easy enough to move around, so if you don't like that spot, then that is perfectly fine. Complete the job. Very nice. Unsurprisingly, it does actually take a bit more than an hour to do all of that. Oh, I got a bunch more emails. Oh, walls to knock down. Recently, Large rooms have become popular, which is proven by the fact that my neighbor and the neighbor of my neighbor knocked down several walls in their homes. I would also like to have several walls demolished in my house. The walls between the living room and the kitchen and corridor seem unnecessary. What is more, the neighbor from across the street painted the wall in her bedroom with a bright blue sky color. I would also love to have the same. I believe that such a professional company will deal with my request at a very low cost without any problems. Best regards, Anthony Gray. Sure. That, by the way, is kind of one of the best ways to get jobs. I mean, offering a low price, yes, but more so that word of mouth. You get so much work in like the 3 weeks leading up to family holidays. Christmas and Thanksgiving being the two big ones. Using the hammer or building wall tools, you can use the E button. Highlight walls to build or destroy. If I open the map? Because, forgive me for saying it, this is not going to end well for you. That you'd maybe be fine with, but taking down this, that's the center support beam of your house. This will cause your house to collapse. Yeah, look at that. I get the desire for open concept, but that is so much structural stability that you're just removing from your house. So, speaking of which, in this kind of situation, when you are in a job site where something seems off, whether it's you're like, hey, this seems like, you know, this seems like a bad idea. I'll give you a great example. If you ever get a request to paint a house some absurd color, and I mean some absolute bullshit, like the entire floor and ceiling and all the walls blue, and you know what? Don't bother throwing down drop cloths or anything like that to protect from the paint. You don't really need to do that. That is a job that you are paid for in cash, and you get a large deposit. This wall we want to keep. This stuff we want to take. So, for example, this job, you explain to them. To be fair, the client here, Anthony Gray, seemed a bit set in his ways, let's say. You know, one email, don't judge a book by its cover and all that, but eventually you get a bit of a read on this type of situation. And this is a job that you get like a 60% deposit on in cash, and you don't tell them your legal name when they ask who you are. Give me kind of the goated hammer. Now, that last part's a joke, but you definitely Again, if anything seems... something seems off about it. That blue walls and everything was an example. I think they didn't want the floor, but they wanted the walls and the ceiling done. And it was all blue. It was like, oh, why? That's immoral? What is that? Oh my god, that's the light switch. Is it just a dummy socket? No, that's also a light switch. Okay, that's that light, which that ain't how light switches work, but here you go. That's this light. That one right. But that's, again, that's one of those ones where you take a big deposit up front, and you get paid in cash. Paint with the colors Sleepy Blue in the bedroom. Let's see how big this bedroom is. This looks like it's the bathroom. Is this the bedroom? It is. What is this room? Ah, second bedroom. But this is the one that gets painted Sleepy Blue. I'm gonna go large again, even though this seems like a pretty small room. Again, better to typically... medium would probably be fine, but... better to slightly overestimate. Oh, that kind of confused me for a second there. I didn't see this little, like, divot in here somehow. And that wall, the outline, looking at it like this, just ruined my brain. But ruined brain is why I got into construction in the first place. And, oh, that's reflective. Yuck. Yeah, I'll say that the construction didn't help. The whole ruined brain thing. Another thing, in a similar vein to, you know, this blue just reminded me of it, but, if two people live in the same house, typically that would be, you know, spouses. You gotta get a good read on their relationship dynamic early, so you know who to listen to if they have slightly differing opinions. But in the end, it always comes down to whose name is on the check. And that's who you listen to. At least that's who I listen to. Because whoever's name is on the check could be, and it's, you know, again, get a read on who they are as people and dynamics and all that, but you never really want to, it's, you know, choosing a different color isn't a huge slight necessarily, but you never want to slight the person who could choose to not pay you. Yeah, it was a good thing I went for large. Seems like one large can is good for small rooms. What did I miss? Ah, right here. One medium can is good for large walls. And again, that's a thing that you get kind of a read on as you work more. Okay. Let me read through both of these and then choose one last job to hit up real quick. Thomas Johansson. Nope, just Johnson. Why did I read it like that? Oh, because it does say that. It says Johansson or Johansson, depending on where he's from here. Then he just signs it as Thomas Johnson. Good afternoon. I need some alterations made to my 2-room house. My daughter is now 3. We feel it is time that she has her own room. Please divide the bedroom into 2 rooms and make sure the new rooms both have doors that connect to the corridor. And please also put in a new bed, remove and sell the crib. I don't know anything about kids. Is 3 years old a good time to get them out of a crib? Okay, what is this circle here? Oh, it's just the tree. Oh, they also want some outlets repaired. I'm gonna get that done. Okay, so this little closet is gonna become part of this. Got it. Then we build up the wall. Let's do demolition first. Get all the dusty stuff out of the way. No realistic dust simulations. Don't have to worry about cleaning up afterward. Kinda nice. A little bit right here, somehow. Could all despawn. Okay. Build walls. Bit tough. Ooh, rain's picking up outside. No skill point. This I'd like to be do fast. Okay, now let's do 3 walls at once. 50% faster building. But this way I can. Oops. Ah, I see. Roll to change mode. Walls at once. Okay. We're actually going to move this into the corner because the bed's probably going to be a little bit bigger than the baby cot. And buy bed. A little bit more expensive than the cot sold for, but let's give you lots of white in this room. Just do like a classic oak, cherry, red cedar. They've got wood, elm, whitewood, blackwood, cedar, gray wood. We can go cedar. Cedar's nice. Did some cedar siding. Kind of, technically. Vinyl siding, but the Uh, underneath there was some cedar stuff. Looks like the people who did the vinyl siding just went right over the top of the old cedar shingle. Not shingles. Shingles? I don't remember if they're actually called shingles. That was one of the things that I never actually did. I'm just gonna go white. Hard to go wrong with white. Yeah, that's not great. Accidentally light your kid on fire. Realistically, you should probably move this over. They didn't ask me to paint the walls? Oh. Time plus materials. They want to call me back to paint the walls? Time plus material. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I fucked up. To be fair, I think the game fucked up, really, but I guess I'm not finishing that outlet. There we go. Oh, actually, just unfortunately, yep, looks like their house is gonna burn down. Shame. Yeah, job's not fully complete, but I can't fully complete it. Good work takes hard work. Cool. Own first office. 28,000 for this thing. Well, let me clean up around here a little bit, and then see, I can buy a radiator and mount it here. I probably got enough for that. Radiator. That was only $40. Why did I think it was 400? Gotta move the bed a little. All the radiator. Oh. Assemble that. Oh, I can turn both screws at once now. They're not screws also. Okay, no, it turns out I can't. That was magic shit I did earlier. There we go. Radiator installed. I'd love to be able to fix that. Also not have that stuff on the floor, but I need a little table for that. A little bit. Or is that just the... Huh, I don't have the option to... Does this game have Witcher vision? Pretty sure House Flipper 2 has Witcher vision. Press something, it's like control or something. This one just gives you the mouse cursor. I don't know what the actual button is. New skill point. Of a good mop. Oh, also. Negotiating. We're just gonna go straight all in on payment. This is a long mop. I don't actually know what I'd be cleaning right here, but there's something on the map. Makes sense actually, rather than just washing like the floor, washing the dirt outside. Nice. The exterior almost done. Could definitely go for a fresh coat of paint. Yeah, that makes sense actually. A lot of this stuff just be water stains. Those are so annoying. Obviously, you know, the biggest issue is you have to deal with the underlying problem. What caused the water stain in the first place? If you don't get rid of that, well then pretty much no matter what you cover them up with, they're coming back. Right there. Tell me it's not that. You just gotta get the right angle on it. Okay, house cleaned. Towel radiator. That's expensive. There we go. That is much cheaper. I don't know how much radiators cost, but that seems extremely cheap, like unbelievably cheap. Go. Honestly, I'm just gonna level these ones easily, or not easily, equally. Okay, let me put this stuff over here for now. Okay, I need a sink. And another one of these counters. 2 of them, if possible. guess that would also be an installation. Potentially. Not really, it's not, you're not installing it. The sink, maybe you could consider it, but... fixtures, that's the word I was looking for. This is bathroom stuff, actually. Is there like a... Oh, yeah, no, it wouldn't be decorations. Oh, I could just put a fucking mammoth skeleton. Kitchen. Just a single 3 meter. Like the whole setup. That seems too long. I need like half that actually. 3.15, 2 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 2 meter. Are there any? Well, this is also, you know, isn't exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah. Here for that ain't perfect, but we're actually gonna put that in the corner. There we go. And then custom kitchen, built-in oven, probably a bit much. Oops. But dark covered. That's 50 centimeter. What do they? They've got 40 as well, or 45. They have 35. That is probably what I want. 35. Yeah, and that's not perfect. I probably could go for... I'm going to go for 40, purely aesthetic-wise. Functionally, you definitely want those 35s, if not 30s. Oh, they have 45s. They don't have straight 40s. They have 40 low cabinets. Let me check if 45s would be too big. Aesthetically, that's kind of exactly it. In real life, you definitely would want to go for those shorter ones. Also, the top doesn't match up. You definitely want to go for those shorter ones, because this you walk in the house, you need to go to the bathroom, you're catching your hip on that every time you walk in the house. Oh, there's also this little stove, upper range. I need to move here. That right there, that's a, let's one over. No, and can I get a fork and a knife? Ooh, no, not a small fork, just a normal fork, actually. Little fork. And a knife. can only put this in the sink. That's liable to get knocked off, so that can be my desktop coffee mug or something like that. There we go. Place is looking nicer already. I think that was a good first day. Oh, I have another one here. Oops.